Hello, English learners. Welcome to the Real English Podcast. I'm Jack.
And I'm Emily. It's great to have you with us today.
We have a fantastic topic today for our advanced learners.
We really do. Jack, have you ever walked into a quiet room?
Yeah, of course.
And did you feel like something was just completely wrong?
Oh, definitely. Like right after two people had a secret argument.
Exactly. Nobody's yelling, but the room just feels incredibly heavy.
Right. You can really feel that weird mood in the air?
That's our topic today. We're talking about shifting group dynamics.
The famous saying is, you could cut the tension with a knife.
I love that phrase. Why is this so useful for real life?
Well, it's easy to say you're personally mad or sad.
Good point. Anyone can talk about their own simple feelings.
Right. But describing a whole room's atmosphere is much harder.
Exactly. You need advanced words to talk about that unseen friction.
We see this at work or at family dinners constantly.
Have you experienced this tension recently?
I've felt that in awkward staff meetings for sure.
Oh, I bet. It gets really uncomfortable, doesn't it?
Yeah, we've all been there. Are you ready to learn the words?
I'm ready. Let's jump right into our vocabulary preview section.
Our first advanced word today is palpable. So listen closely.
Palpable. What exactly does this mean in a social context?
It means a feeling is so incredibly strong, you can almost touch it.
Right. It's like the tension in a room is a physical object.
Have you ever walked into a meeting right after a big argument?
Oh yeah, the air just feels super heavy and uncomfortable.
Exactly. That heavy feeling is what we call palpable tension.
Let's move on. Our second vocabulary word for today is undercurrent.
Undercurrent. This one sounds like we're talking about the ocean.
It does, right? Think about water moving quietly under the surface.
Oh, I see. So it describes a hidden mood, or a hidden feeling.
Yes, people might be smiling, but you feel the real emotion underneath.
Like feeling an undercurrent of anger at a quiet family dinner?
That's a perfect example of unseen social friction, Jack.
It pulls at you even though you can't easily see it.
Our third phrase is really visual. It's walking on eggshells.
Walking on eggshells. This happens when the tension is already high, right?
Yeah, it means you're being extremely careful with your words.
You definitely don't want to upset someone who is already mad.
Have you ever had a boss in a really terrible mood?
Definitely. Everyone just acts super careful around the office all day.
Right. Nobody wants to break an eggshell and cause an explosion.
These are such great phrases to describe those subtle group changes.
Now, let's hear them in action during our dialogue section.
That meeting was super intense. What did you think?
Oh, definitely. You could really cut the tension with a knife.
Yeah, the stress was totally palpable. Did you notice how quiet everyone got?
Exactly. Nobody wanted to say the wrong thing.
Right. We were all just walking on eggshells in there.
Totally. Do you know what happened before we walked in?
I really don't know. But David looked extremely stressed out.
He really did. There was a weird undercurrent of anger the whole time.
I felt that too. Why do you think he was so mad?
Maybe that big client deal fell through this morning?
Oh, that's a good point. That would explain the sudden mood shift.
Right? It was so awkward. Have you ever seen him act like that?
Never. I just hope the rest of the week is much better.
Me too. Let's just focus on our own projects for now.
Sounds good to me. Do you want to grab a quick coffee?
I'd love to. Let's get out of here for a bit.
Welcome back to the language takeaway.
Right? Let's look at the vocabulary from our dialogue.
We heard some great advanced phrases today.
We really did. The first one is a classic idiom.
You mean, cut the tension with a knife?
Exactly. It's such a visual phrase, isn't it?
It really is. It means the room feels extremely stressful.
Yeah, the silence feels heavy and awkward. Have you ever felt that?
Oh, definitely. I felt it at a family dinner recently.
Oh no, what happened?
My brother brought up politics. You could cut the tension with a knife.
That's always a mistake. So, how do we use this?
You usually say it after a long, awkward silence.
Good point. Let's move to the next word.
Sure. The word is palpable. We heard the stress was totally palpable.
Right. Palpable means a feeling is so strong you can almost touch it.
Like the tension we just talked about, right?
Exactly. It isn't literally physical, but it feels physical.
Are there other things that can be palpable?
Yes, you can have palpable excitement or palpable fear.
That's interesting. I love using it for positive things too.
Me too. Like, the joy in the stadium was palpable.
Great example. What's our third word today?
The word is undercurrent. We heard about an undercurrent of anger.
I see. So an undercurrent is a hidden feeling.
Exactly. It's like water moving beneath the surface.
Right. You can't always see it easily.
But you definitely know it's there, right?
For sure. People might be smiling, but they're actually mad.
Yeah, that hidden anger is the undercurrent.
Do we use this word for other emotions?
We do. You might feel an undercurrent of sadness in a movie.
Or an undercurrent of panic before a big test.
Exactly. It's very useful for advanced learners.
It really is. Okay, what's our final phrase?
The last one is walking on eggshells.
Oh, I use this one all the time.
Really? Why do you use it so much?
Well, sometimes I have a very grumpy boss.
Ah, I get it. You have to be very careful around him.
Exactly. Walking on eggshells means being very careful not to upset someone.
Because eggshells break so easily, right?
Right. They crunch loudly if you step on them.
So you walk carefully to stay quiet and safe.
Exactly. We heard this in the dialogue about the quiet office.
People were walking on eggshells around the angry manager.
It's a great phrase for describing an uncomfortable workplace.
It really is. Try using these phrases in your next conversation.
They'll definitely make your English sound very natural. We just talked about some great ways to describe tense moods.
Yeah, those expressions paint a really vivid picture.
But how do we actually build sentences with them naturally?
That's a great question. We need some reliable patterns.
Right? Let's look at how to describe a stressful room.
You might not always use the knife idiom exactly.
Exactly. Sometimes you just say the tension was so thick.
Oh, I like that one. The tension was so thick.
How would you normally finish a sentence like that?
I might say, the tension was so thick, you couldn't even breathe.
Wow, that really paints a picture. Have you been in a room like that?
Definitely. During my last budget review meeting for sure.
I can imagine. So the pattern is, the tension was so thick, followed by a result.
Right? Like, the tension was so thick that nobody wanted to speak.
That's really useful. What about describing a feeling you can almost touch?
We talked about the word palpable a little earlier.
Yes, but a more conversational way is saying, you could almost feel the...
Oh, that's a great phrase pattern to practice.
You could almost feel the disappointment in the room.
Or, you could almost feel the excitement. It works for good things too.
That's a really good point to bring up.
What if the feeling is hidden, like an undercurrent?
You could say, beneath the surface there was a feeling of...
That sounds mysterious. Beneath the surface, there was a lot of anger.
Right, it means people are smiling, but they are actually mad.
Have you ever had to deal with a situation like that?
Oh yeah. At a family dinner last holiday.
Family dinners are classic for that kind of mood.
They really are. So our pattern is, beneath the surface there was.
And you just add an emotion. Beneath the surface, there was frustration.
Perfect. Now, what about that eggshells idiom we learned?
If you want to vary that, you can say treading carefully around.
Treading carefully around a certain topic or person.
Exactly. Like we were treading carefully around the boss today.
Why does that usually happen in the office?
Usually because someone is in a really bad mood.
So true. You can also say treading carefully around the new policy.
Right, you just add the person or topic you want to avoid.
These patterns make it so much easier to sound natural.
They really do. Just practice swapping the ending words.
Now that you know how to describe that palpable undercurrent of tension, let's listen to the dialogue one more time to hear these advanced expressions in action.
That meeting was super intense. What did you think?
Oh, definitely. You could really cut the tension with a knife.
Yeah, the stress was totally palpable. Did you notice how quiet everyone got?
Exactly. Nobody wanted to say the wrong thing.
Right. We were all just walking on eggshells in there.
Totally. Do you know what happened before we walked in?
I really don't know. But David looked extremely stressed out.
He really did. There was a weird undercurrent of anger the whole time.
I felt that too. Why do you think he was so mad?
Maybe that big client deal fell through this morning?
Oh, that's a good point. That would explain the sudden mood shift.
Right? It was so awkward. Have you ever seen him act like that?
Never. I just hope the rest of the week is much better.
Me too. Let's just focus on our own projects for now.
Sounds good to me. Do you want to grab a quick coffee?
I'd love to. Let's get out of here for a bit.
That dialogue really brings the awkwardness to life, doesn't it?
It really does. I felt stressed just listening to it.
Right? You can completely picture David sitting there looking angry.
Exactly. Everyone else is just trying to stay quiet and invisible.
I've definitely been in meetings exactly like that before.
Me too. You really do end up walking on eggshells.
Now it's time for you to practice these advanced phrases.
Getting the rhythm right is super important for these expressions.
So, we're going to play a few key lines again.
Listen closely to Sarah and repeat the phrases out loud.
Ready? Let's give it a try.
Oh, definitely. You could really cut the tension with a knife. Exactly. Nobody wanted to say the wrong thing. He really did. There was a weird undercurrent of anger the whole time. Maybe that big client deal fell through this morning. Right? It was so awkward. Have you ever seen him act like that? Great job with the practice today, everyone.
These phrases will definitely help you describe tricky situations at work.
Yeah, they make your spoken English sound so much more natural.
Thank you so much for hanging out and learning with us today.
If you found this episode helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.
It really supports us, and we appreciate it a lot.
Have a wonderful week, and stay stress-free out there.
We will see you all again in the next video. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.